is the Hey, hi everybody. So this is me doing a live. My name is Queen. I'm in my personal space. I haven't did this in a while. So this is called Time to Open Up. You know what that means? It means time to get real. So I'm gonna introduce myself. I don't know if you can see it on live, but I'm still new at this, so I'm still working on adjusting. But in any case, this is me. Um, one of God's ones, one of His ones that went through a lot of things. And when I'm saying open up, I'm a spiritualist. I started off as a Christian, going to church and all those things. To the Most High said stop, and because the Lord said stop, I said, well, why would the Lord tell me? Well, no, I didn't question it. He just said stop. Going in. This was back in 2020. That's when everything happened to us, COVID and all kinds of stuff, and our whole life as a whole started to change. Right? It just changed our world. We had to. They programmed us to get vaccines, to get vaccinated, just to work at your job. You had to go through a lot of things. First, it started off that we had power in our hand. We had a choice. Whether we had to wear the mask, and then it went to gloves was optional, and then it went to the you just had the regular face mask, and then they got the hazardous mask, and then we was spending all kinds of money. Then we couldn't get, we was told to keep our hands clean. So we went through that with the Purell, and then they stopped selling it in the stores, and they stopped. Then it was a thing with the Lysol. Then you couldn't go to the store regular. You couldn't just walk in like we normally do, like we could do now. We had to wait on the line. They just started doing little different things to see how far are we willing to be controlled. And when you play along, you do it, and you find out, you say, okay, oh, this is for, what I'm saying is our government, this is our country, this is what they do, especially in the cities and in the rural areas. Yeah. So they play the control game. They got this, they told us that it is a trial. What is a trial? It's a test trial. They had the first phase, second phase, third, and it just kept going. Started off where it was basic. We was basically able to make our own decision. And because we was doing that, some people wanted to, get the shot, and whatever it is, the Pfizer, the Moderna, and Johnson. Whatever the case is, we had a choice. So I chose not to do none of that. I just was like, yeah, that's not for me. Now I could wear the mask and things like that. Then they started, to use the jobs, because a lot of people did not want to do that. What I'm saying is a life changing, but how we are being programmed and pushed on a genocide or spiritual warfare. What is warfare? Or what is spiritual warfare? Where they attack you in your faith. That's where your spirit is. That's how you live. That's what you believe. That's how you think, or what you feel like. Any case, the Lord told me to stop going to church. So when I said, don't go there because I'm not there. I'm everywhere you at. Tell everyone, make it simple, make it plain. Now, those exact words. So that's how I say it. Okay. So because the Lord said, I'm everywhere you at, and that's not where I'm at. One thing was crystal and crispy clear. The Lord doesn't separate itself, the spirit. Well, I'm used to saying he like everybody else, but it's really a she. Now, before I get into that, I don't want to go too deep into that part yet. But what I would say is the Most High would not separate or say to one of his ones. Now, people say, I don't know what God you serve. I don't know what God you listening to. Apparently, I'm listening to the righteous one and the right one because there's only one that will say I'm not there. Who is that one? Satan would go all in the churches. Why? Because it came to deceive all of us. It said, look, I came to deceive the whole world. To Christians and believers that believe and believe not. How you know that you're not a believer, even if you believe that you're a believer? It would take a lot of faith to believe that I can't be a believer if I don't go to church. That makes you an even more believer because the Lord is not in the building. You are, we are, particularly the people makes the church. So, do you need to be in the building? Your church is you. And if you understand why you're a church, then you should understand why the Lord, why he resonate and why he give us life, why he consider us to be one of his specials. We his creation. Why would he mislead us? It wouldn't do that. Any case, so I'm not there. Then said two different times. So I'm instructed to tell my ones, you can make up your mind and still do it. The Lord said, I'm not there. I'm everywhere you at. Make it simple, make it plain. Now, to understand that, to mind your business is to mind your own self. It's to mind your spirit. If you say that God is love and all the things that we believe, why can't we live it? You should be that. You should sing it. It should be already in your spirit. I met a very wonderful man named Cal Phillip. If anybody's familiar with him, he's a motivational speaker and uplift for women, and a very good example for what men should be like. And if you ever want a man to be in your life, that's a good example of what it is to be uplifting, kind, and pour in and inspire women that is broken to be lifted again. In any case, he inspired me. So here I am. I waited off the scene for a while until I'm back. Now, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be me. People look to have certain things to say, well, what, if you blessed, then how come you don't look like you belong or that you don't look like a celebrity? What is a celebrity to you? The Most High loves me and he loves all of us the same way he loves me too. So I'd rather be famous in the spiritual realm with my spiritual team, my spiritual tribe, my soul tribe that watches out for me. I'd rather be famous at any time over this worldly people, family, things, and people in places that could disappoint you. I'd rather be uplifted because that's the highest court and it's the highest realm and nothing could beat it. As everything got to follow that order as so above, so below, as so below is so above. Which way you want to live? I chose to live my life showing love. So regardless of what I've been through, all these adversities, 2020 woke a lot of us up because that was the time where they shut everything down. If they take everything away, they turn your teeth, you can't go get your hair done, they close all the major things that the rest of us, that was like to do. It was our free, our free will, go get your hair done, your nails done, whatever we wanted to do, go out to eat. They closed everything down, the games and everything. Why do you think they did that? Do you think they were starving for money? No, of course not. That's why they was able to shut everything down. They knew, and they had to figure out another way. That's when they started putting up these 5Gs and the towers. Why? Because we was in the house, you couldn't see nothing, you couldn't debate about nothing. A lot of us was locked in. A few of us that did work, the jobs we had was caregivers, an ambulance, whether you was a home health aide, one of those types, and then you was able to live. So you kept your job. Okay, so in saying that, I say that to say this. I think 2020, where I was at, I was about 40, 41, maybe. Yeah. The next year over in 21. I'm 42. This year I lost my mom. What I'm saying is there was so many different elements of mind control. It told us how to think, when to think, and even if you didn't want to do something, everybody felt pressure. You felt like you had to because you had to save your job. So if you don't do it, if you don't take these shots, and if you don't pick one of them, then you can't work here. You're going to be out of a job. And people that had a lot of years, 30 or whatever type of years they had on the job, and they had their pension, their 401k, and they had a lot of things going on. And they wasn't ready. They was nowhere close to retirement, or they was close. Either way, they didn't want to let that go. So what power or spirit that's moving around the earth that would force and crush and use our livelihood against us to survive? What would make something that is that much force to scare people with their livelihood, how to survive? And you say, oh, I pray to God. Well, what God is that that's walking around that you pray to? Because the God, the Most High, I know, He wouldn't do that to none of us. He doesn't give us something to give us a mind and give us authority and dominion and then trick us and take it away from us. Who would do it? Satan. Satan. Well, why would God listen, there's a lot of questions and a lot of answers. It is necessary because it needs to show who is really in their faith, who have a faith of a mustard seed, who's really believe that way. Because if it took everything from you and you had nothing, but you believe that I would give you everything, if everything was taken from you, what would you trust? Why would you have to go to a building once a week that you put money in and they tell you this is the God you should trust? Come on, somebody. They invite us. I've been in church. I've been on the choir. I've been there for like at least about 10, 11 years of my life. Until the Lord said, stop. I guess I got everything I needed to get. I wanted to know how to live the way that the Most High wants us to live. How do you love? So I can know how to love like you. How do you see Most High so I can see like you? I don't know if that's everybody's prayer, but that was mine and He answered. So I'm here to tell you. You have to see inwardly. Even the things that you didn't know, even when I wasn't the person that I am now, everything that I've been through helped to make me. What I'm saying is, this world is not on our side. This is not the God that we should be trusting, because it gives, yes, would it give you something? But what I'm saying is, what's the difference? We could choose to be whatever God we want. We got two, right? It's two. So you get to pick which one you want to operate in and which God that you want to bow down to. You got your higher self, all right? So most of us started out in our lower self, lower frequency. That's why we all got caught. You understand? Our parents couldn't taught us nothing more than what they've been through. This is before technology. So they was working on some things is in the Bible. Romans tell us very well in the beginning, Starts out, yes, the Lord loves everybody. And it's going to let you know that because you want things of the world that looks good and you want to care about everything that everybody else is doing, everybody's doing the same. Well, it's a curriculum. We must follow the same. When you realize that you're not one of those little click clack and let me go get along to go along, you're like, yeah, that's it took some time for me to realize that this world was telling me to go the wrong way. They went against the Most High and they celebrate everything that God told us not to do. This world said, it's okay. Nothing's going to happen to you. Come, everyone. There's enough room for all of you. Bring your children. Bring your pets. Bring your grandparents. The oldest ones, the younger ones. Come, everybody. I won't leave nothing out. You can even place bets. I said you can even place bets, right? Why? Because this is an arena. You can make money everywhere. Then you could go. You got the casinos. You got all kinds of gambling. You got games. You got everything that we can do that to screw it up. But guess what? No matter that they have these things, it's still a way to live this life without getting caught in their traps because it means less to you. If you had a lot of fun doing worldly things and you believe and you come to a place where you mature, you start to see the world differently. You start listening to your other ones that's speaking, that's telling us it's time to wake up. Time to wake up. So when we start listening to ourselves and Papa Duck and Amina Emret, if you don't know, on YouTube, Spooky Hours, Amina the Blackout shows, for Miss Fachette. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Billy Fachette. That was her name. Any case, she had many different names for different reasons because they was trying to stop. They like to stop our people if we talking about something real. Anytime we trying to wake each other up, that's when things get real. They change your numbers. They try to silence you out. They try to make it seem like you don't have anything worthy of talking about. So, I'm say to you, as I say to anybody else, it's time to open up our minds. Open up your spirit so we can feel how God moves in time. His wisdom is great. It's everlasting. So I learned some things how to learn to clean up my own mistakes. It's not easy, but I learned that no matter what I went through, what I'm saying is I don't like to be controlled. I'm an Aries. That I think most of us, it's not just our signs. We all have each other attributes. You may have that determinating spirit. You got all kinds of this, like at least 12 zodiac signs, right? And if you embody all of the elements of every sign, what happens? You are in line with yourself, whether you know it or not. I chose to love. Love is the greatest commandment of the book, right? Okay. So if that's the case, the Lord said, if you kept one, you will keep all. I don't know all of them by heart, but I know one thing. If love is the answer, then I will run into everything. I will line up. That's hard. Now, why is that hard? It's not hard for me to accept, but I'm going to tell you, whatever you said that you are, if you love, expect to be tested by the ones you love the most, the ones that's dear to you, the ones that know that you love them, and they know that you gave them your trust, and they took everything because they'll sit with you, they'll smile with you, they'll invite you places just to watch you up close, to watch how you live, to see that you came from the dirt. You wasn't always like this, but I stand alone. I live alone. It's a crazy thing to be envy. And you can imagine the people you love envy you. They don't want you to have a good life because God blessed you, put favor on you. It's a difference from being blessed. Oh, I'm blessed. Okay? It is a wonderful thing, but favor is an even extra thing. That's extra extraordinary. Favor follows you everywhere you go. It's the way you live your life. It's how you got through tough situations. People think that, oh, well, because I worked this job and I want my career. And after you get through all the accolades, after this world told you what you can and cannot do, after they took your amendment rights, they took our freedom, our free will, freedom of speech. And we don't even know that's what's happening to us. And 2020 was an introduction into how they was going to manipulate and see who are them that is strong and who are they that is weak. The ones that stood to the side and said, well, I got my pension, I've been working here 50 years, I was about to retire, but you ain't gonna tell me to put something in my body and I don't know what you putting in and where you get it from and what's the ingredients and what it's supposed to do to me. And it's something you made up and you're calling the trial and you want to test me to be a test baby, a test dummy. The answer to that will be no for the rest of the half. The rest of the half of the world, the people that said, nah, I'm not, yeah, I don't trust you. You already lying. You're making up stuff. I don't know. Listen, you got lab coats on. They white. You know what I'm saying? And they come and talk to us and tell us, they come on the TV and they give us some good reasons why we should take some messed up ass medicine that they made up. Look at the names, whatever it is. And Eliquis and they put out things that cause us harm. Over time, it's detrimental to your health. So years later, 15, almost 20, 30 years later, after you've been taking that crazy ass stuff over the counter or whether it's prescription, why? Because you got, what you call them, professional licensed drug dealers. They went to school to be a chemist, to know how to administrate drugs and get money off of it and make it a business and then connect it to hospitals. Oh, your doctor got to give you, yeah, you need your medical doctor. Your medical doctor could be able to prescribe and to say, yes, you need this medication. So the pharmacist is in place. They look at it. Yeah, okay, that seems to go good together. It seems like you covered or not. Even if you got to pay a cold fee, whatever it is, what I'm saying, they go hand in hand with each other. They working for our demise is what I'm saying. If I didn't learn nothing, this is what I did learn. I learned that life is what you make it. Life is what you believe about you. If you didn't know why you should love yourself, because the imperfections that we feel and we think, well, I did so many things wrong. I did some things to myself. I put myself in harm's way. I belittled myself. I did strange things for change. If you did any of these things and you say, I feel ashamed, only reason why, only way that can happen is when you have a conscience. You have to have a God-given conscience. And you have to have something in you that says, I'm not willing to give up on myself. I'm not willing, whatever you did, and if that's feeling, make you feel bad for the things that you did, and if that was your way of life, if that's your way of life of supporting you, and you're not comfortable with it, you're not happy at the things that you have, that you did maintain, you was able to travel and all these things, but if you did it in a way where it went against your own principles, your morals, your integrity, and it gave you a conscience, you said, Lord, I can't sleep, something is going on. I used to be so happy, giving myself or jipping people or scamming somebody out of money, whichever way you did to get what your means, to get your needs met, and you're not comfortable, you're not pleased after you get some time to settle down and then overlook. And let me take a look at my life. Let me go back and run my tape. If you're not comfortable with anything that you did and is what you used to be comfortable with, that's good. It means that God, the Most High, is moving in you and touching you in your spirit, saying you better than that. You get to make a decision. I don't want to live that way no more. I don't want to hustle that way. I don't want to put myself in that way where I could be treated or make myself feel treated a certain way that I'm not comfortable with. You will have to be your own self. You will have to be something in you that said, I'm not willing to accept any and everything just to get by, just to get by. I'm not willing to get high just to get high. Whatever it is, I'm saying you need a purpose. And you need to do two things. You need to let go your ego and pride. Those two things will make you miss everything that is good for you inside and out. You'll miss the things that the Lord want to shout about. We can cry, we can feel alone and say, well, I feel bad. I didn't do good today, or whether it's whatever. Let's just say you wanted to do a diet. And you said, oh, I cheated. I didn't do too good. I didn't work out this day or whatever. You're taking too much pressure on yourself. Relax. Blow it out. Reset. Regroup. Learn to do better and say, okay, I see where I'm falling. We all fall, even myself. Let me tell you, the best thing, it's not about some of the things you didn't get right. And you, as long as your spirit, to me, the intent, this is not, when I say to me, let me tell you what, okay, I'm going to say it like that in my own opinion. And then I'm going to say it with the Most High. If something or doesn't line up and your intent is not good behind it, that's why it didn't line up. When your intent is good, you have a purpose, you do things with intentions. If I'm talking, I'm going to uplift with the intention that I'm going to help someone. Somebody's going to learn. Somebody's going to feel something. Somebody's going to think about something. Somebody's going to touch somebody else. Somebody's going to share it with somebody else. Something is getting done. If you understand that part, then that's the part you want to be in. Do things with intention, whatever it is, whether it's making food, raising your children. You're raising them with intention. Whatever that intention is, you want it to be a good one, because you got people that got intention and they'll raise their whole family to be confused. It's a real thing. It's called dysfunctional families. And what do we all say? We all got that. What do we think that is? Normal. Why? Because it's common. Why is it common? Because it's commonly, we've been screwed by a system over centuries that been ruining generations for a lifetime. And this time, it got to be a no. Time's up. We got our mind back. We ready to glow. So for chosen ones, all chosen vessels, and all, I'm going to just say, all God's, all the Most High's children. And then I'm going to tell you, since 2020, it messed us up. It is a mix up of 21 got a little bit, was still crazy, right? 22 was kind of like getting out of there. 23 was a little bit much better than 22. Then 24 was way better than all three, right? So we came through some steps. Now here we are, 25. Now it's like, okay, are we ready now? You should be ready to reset. I love my peoples. Hold on. Let me take a move. Oh, let me just stay. Pardon me. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So, I'm sorry. I'm back. Okay, so in a nutshell, why I say these things, because we have to learn to regroup and take our own willpower, our own knowledge about ourselves. When the Lord told me not to read the Bible, I was 42. Let me go back there for a minute. Don't read the Bible as it is, but the truth is in there. Don't read the Bible as it is, because it's lies, but the truth is also in there. Listen, my people, I'm gonna be honest with you. I got it early in the morning. I was in the bathroom. I was at my mom's house early in the morning at 8 o'clock, and the Lord spoke, and a voice spoke to me inwardly, and it was loud. And I wasn't thinking about nothing. I wasn't playing nothing. I wasn't listening to nothing. It was just me. And the Lord said, "Don't read the Bible as it is. It's lies in there mixed with the truth. The truth is in there." And it was just left like that. And I was like, what? Listen, I was like, wow, wait. I said, okay. I didn't know what to do with it because that was it. And I said, well, yeah, don't read. That means don't. That's what the Lord said to me. He said, don't read that book the way you've been doing it. The understanding is misinterpreted because there's lies in there. So that means that you've been deceived. But my truth is in there. You got to read it to find out how to. So, in any case, listen, I didn't know. So I said, well, because if I kept reading the Bible, I'm going to read it in a way where I understood it the first time. Now, that's talking about different parts of the Bible. But I didn't know I was always reading the Bible before I even went to church. Back in 26, I was 26, 27. I was reading the Bible. Let me tell you, I didn't read the whole book. I read the parts that meant something where where I was weak at, and I needed God's spirit. I needed the word so I could understand it, so I could know what I needed to do once I leave the house. Now, am I ready to be tested by my faith and my spirit? I didn't know. I kept reading Psalms, the book of Psalms. And you could think of whatever Psalms you want to think of. I can't name them all, but I'm going to tell you the ones that I did read: 37, 40, 23. The Lord is my shepherd. Be patient and wait on the Lord. Psalms 40. Uh, I did say 37. I like all the Psalms, right? 119, 91. The first one. Count it all joy when trouble comes. Because I didn't understand that, and a lot of times that's where we get confused at as people. We don't, situations happen. We get caught up in the circumstance. But in any case, let me stay focused. So when I was told not to read it the same in Proverbs, Corinthians, Romans. I've read a lot of different parts of the book, but those two, Proverbs and Psalms, mostly Psalms because those was prayers. It was strength that I needed. So I read them. They helped me. As I didn't always help myself. I had somebody else that was helping me to understand the Bible or whatever, and that I felt that knew a little bit more than me. My ex at the time, but in any case, yeah, this person was. I felt that he was more enlightened to be able to break down the scriptures to me because I wasn't. Hold on. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Okay, I'm back. Okay, so once I said, Lord, I'm not gonna read the book because I'm not gonna understand. I'm gonna read it the way how I always did, and I'm gonna come with the same understanding. So I'm not gonna do nothing. Until you give me more revelation, Lord, I'm gonna just wait. Now, it's a beautiful thing to be able to wait. That don't mean don't go outside, don't mean that don't wash your face and brush your teeth. It means wait on the answer. Don't try to figure it out if you can't figure it out yourself. As the Lord said, that's not it. You have to trust that that spirit would never mislead you. And I knew when the Lord said, I said, the Lord told me not to go to church. Stay out of the churches. And don't read the book as it is. I said, well, one thing for certain, hold on, I'm doing a lot. So one thing for certain is that the Lord would never separate his own spirit from something that it lives or that it's a part of. It's not realistic. It's not. It's not even futuristic. It's nothing. It don't exist. If the Lord said, look, don't go there, I'm not there. Who will make something? Satan would. What is Satan? Lies. A destroyer of life. A destroyer of your mind. It comes to kill, steal everything. Your soul, your spirit, your time, your energy, whatever you go for, it wants it. It just it's like a suction cup, just like a magnet, just sucking everything out of you. And everything that you got, it want to cling to and don't want you to have nothing that belongs to you. These are parasites that is in a human essence, in a human form. And they come in all forms and shades and colors and sizes. So you know what I learned? The Lord don't separate himself from himself. So as long as I know that who I'm operating in and who I live for, my higher self, now I'm not in my lower self. Now, when you say your lower self, let me tell you what that means. Lower vibration, that means that if you know anything about chakras, we got a lot of them, but I focus on the main seven. Now, our chakras, if you're in a low vibration, let me tell you what it is. So people can know your low frequency is the way you think, how you feel about yourself. If you don't feel like great about yourself, you don't trust yourself. You're a lie. You're a make believe. You're act as if I'm a pretender. I'm a pretend to be real. I'm a pretend I look real, right? But I have no substance. I'm hollow inside. So if you got something that's hollow inside, but you know how to act like you real. So you got to get around real people. You got to see how real people talk, how they think, how they feel. Oh, okay, I got it. I can mimic. It's called mirroring. You got people that like to mirror. Let me see if I can mimic this person's energy. But what happens when you come across a real one and they're official? That is who they are. Then the fake ones is going to see you as their enemy because now you're making them look bad. Well, who's this person walking around looking like they all spotted up and cleaned up and they don't have any more flaws and they don't have any not flaws. It's a difference when you have nothing that the enemy could use to attack you. After you did, I'm saying like if you was into sex, lust, drinking, or gambling, anything that's worldly, that you have a weakness for, the enemy can use, and it's a lot of them. I wrote their names down because I wanted to know what their attribute are because then I know who you are. Do you need to know what a person eat and drink and how they get up in the morning? What's their routine? That is worldly, systematic bullcrap. And this is how they study us, because that's the way their mind operate, because a lot of us is underneath their system. So those are the tactics that they would use. Why? They send people in your life, relationships, family, and things like that. They send them there to study you, and then before you know it, they there to ruin your life. Take everything before you know that. Before you look up, you're like, where did everything happen to my life? Where did my life go? They do things in the background. They sprinkle dust and do weird spell work things, and it's something you can't see. So what I'm saying is, if the Lord will say, don't go to that house, I'm not there. Tell my people, I'm not there. But if you walking amongst each other, I'm everywhere. You are at everything you see. That's where I'm in. You got to believe that my spirit is following you. If you use the Most High's attributes, you can use that, because now you're in your higher self. That means you think positive about yourself. You don't see anything. Okay, most people see things negative, and a negative and a positive. I'm not wired that way. I just don't. I see everything positive, even if it's something negative, because out of everything that ever happened that wasn't right or started off wrong in anyone's life, I don't tell nobody to Google nothing, because I'm going to just use life. Why? Because we all lived it. We experienced it, and we know people that did, right? Okay. Hurt, pain, shame, abandonment issues, trauma bond, whatever it is that this world got, it is. After you outgrow that in your spirit and you realize these things that happen was I'm the cause of it. If you're not the cause, then you let it go. I'm going to tell you, it may seem hard. It may not be as simple as I say it. Think about it. If someone else's opinion, or they don't see your hard work, they didn't see your love, they didn't see that it was a blessing, do you not show that person love? If that's what you are, you would, knowing it unknowingly. But once you understand, do this person deserve me? Is this person pouring back into me? If the answer is no, under normal circumstances, you can let it go. You can walk away. You can like, you don't deserve me. I'm finished with you. I'm going my own way. Man or woman should be able to do the same. When we don't know who we are and what we want, or we see negative things, or situations don't work out, and we lost our loved one, mom, dad, your husband, or whatever, somebody significant, and they meant something, and you had the funnest time with they essence being around. Now it's gone. It feels empty. Something died in you. They took something with them, took a part of you with them. You feel that way. Okay. They have to be absent in the body to be present with the Lord, to be able to watch over you. And in many cases, okay, so I had my experience. I learned that this world will use these tactics of us losing someone or being hurt by somebody we love the most, and they're gonna use these things. Everybody got to find out what and who they are, and what they went through, and how many things that, if you could notice natural things about you, so you can find out why your purpose is here. If you just here and we don't have a purpose, right? And we don't have a purpose, and we don't have intent. You need to have intentions. Your intentions to line up with your uh okay, so your intent is your emotions. It should line up with the core of your spirit. You understand what I'm saying? So if your intent is good, so is your spirit. Your spirit and everything is lined up. You have good intentions and you have a purpose. So if, like, whatever I'm doing, I'm talking, but I'm talking to you, to anyone that can hear it when let it stream, or if you can hear me live. I don't know if somebody's able to listen to me or not. All I do know is, for anybody to want to change something about them, you need to have a purpose. You should have an intent. What's your intent? My intentions is to do better. My intentions is to be better. My intentions is to do well. What is doing well, and what is your intent for you to be better? Better or for what? To better my spirit, to lift myself up, to tell myself I can, I will, I have, and I can, and I shall. And it is. Whatever it is that you say you are, is easy when you live that certain way. And you are that way because life made you a certain way, made you to be strong, made you to stand, made you to just use discernment from right from wrong. That doesn't mean that you are. People like to use the word perfect. And I'm going to tell you, we are. We need to change the way we think about ourselves and whatever this world told us we were. Don't compare yourself to the Lord. You're supposed to. If you can't, then you're not part of the Most High, the righteous one. Then you got the God of this world that will give you accolades and let you finish school. You could graduate. You get all the plaques that you want to get. You can even run all the races. You get all the trophies you need to get. And after you did all those things, and if you made the most money for playing all the games and you made it and you played and you made the biggest hits, if you into music and you said, well, I'm a music artist, everybody knows me, I'm famous, right? And then you got some people that still act retarded. It's all right. It's just part of the game, this state system, and we in it, right? So the ones that's waking up consciously, that means that you are spiritually being awoken to your true self. That means that this world won't have any strings or anything to pull on that can pull you down. I'm not saying that it won't be that you won't feel something. It's just not enough to stop you from knowing who you are and why you are. Half of them was told to be, they need handlers. I'm like, handlers? I don't need nobody to handle me. If you a person like me that likes to be free to make your own decisions, sometimes the government laws, a lot of the laws and rules and stipulations don't make sense. Like paying bills once a month. People look forward to that. As long as I can pay my bills, I'm listen. I'm just saying. I used to do all the things, and I was down with it because I was. When you are still there and you say, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, so this don't happen, I need this in place. This is why we pay our bills, right? And we say, okay, well, I need my phone bill, I need my light bill, I need my gas, or whatever kind it is. I got to pay my car note and all these things that we are paying. That's why we are still broke. Now, and so, well, what you mean by that? If we keep paying everything, then we'll never get paid up. We go to the games. People watch baseball. I'm in the Bronx, right? They got the stadium Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Sunday. You understand? They got the stop the cars from driving a certain way. You can't close this road off. You got to go around and jamming up traffic. Listen, it's a business. This is the American way. They get us to get distracted. They put things up. So while we actually doing it the hard, we doing it the legit way. But guess what happens out of our hard earned money? You want to go to the games, you want to go to the parades, you want to do all these things. It's like, oh, it's so much stuff to do. I'm not saying not to do something. What I'm saying is open your eyes, be more mindful. Everything that they made comes with something harmful and shameful. They took people out, hurt babies, and did a lot of things to make these things come about. A lot of them behind the scenes. They make it look easy. Oh, everybody should want to come. Show your talent. Come. Be something that the world can marvel over. Surely, don't keep silent. Come on. Show us what you got. Tell us your inventions. You want to invent something? Share your ideas. Now you go share it. Somebody else see it. Because if it's not a patent that you already made covered and you put it out, somebody take it. And they be like, damn, who took my idea and made it for themselves? Did you have a name on it? Did you have it protected? Catch 22. They're not going to tell you, make sure before you put your ideas out, make sure it's protected. You got to be a mind thinker or somebody that experienced that to know that. Otherwise, you get trapped and caught in a trap. What spirit is walking around trapping us that will say, in God we trust? And they put it in their courts and they got it on the dollar bill, in God we trust. You see, that's how many people died and murdered each other. And why our lineage is messed up? Because that was the God we trust. That's the same God we trust that used that same one on people on their jobs and their livelihood to force them. If you didn't take it, then you can't work. And then you couldn't go to see your loved ones in the hospital. What God that we say, oh, the Most High, or that's mine. And I started thinking, yeah, it's telling me the wrong thing. Yeah, I can't be listening to you. You promoting things that is going to send us to the slaughter. Oh, what you mean by that? Well, I mean everything by it. If something is telling you to go against yourself, it doesn't matter if it's your own cousin, if it's your boss, but even if it's something way bigger, it's your government that's telling you and that's putting harmful foods on the shelf and names we can't even pronounce. And they telling us it's harmful and it's causing problems to our health. If everything that God made us naturally, the Creator said, I made you to be fruitful and multiply. How is it that one will tell us to be fruitful and multiply? That means that we would need to be with a man and a woman, grinding, working, and lifting up each other spiritually so we can bring babies forward to populate and fill up this nation. The other one said, gays got rights. Hey, alphabet people, we're going to come up with something that can make us equal to whatever the creator said. We're going to do the opposite, and we're going to see how many heads is going to follow and lose their mind and walk away from the righteousness of their birthright consciousness that they're not even going to understand that is their conscience that's being depleted. They'll follow me and they will be deceitful to themselves, and they are still honoring me, and they're going to call me God, and the whole world is going to know about me. Okay? Isn't that what it did? It did. Everybody know it. We call God, and it said everybody going to bow down to me, and they going to call me He. He. That same one that said, let me see what Bible that is. The Holy Bible, right? Okay. So that same one that said, out of Adam, he made a woman out of his ribs. That was the first lie. I was like, oh wow. When I was asleep, it's a different. When you sleep, your mind is like, oh, I see how that could kind of make sense. Oh yeah, I think I could see how that could kind of, yeah, that do make sense. No, it don't. Because in real life, how women give birth to both sex, men and women, right? Little boys and little girls. Men just give us the sperm, but we able to house both. If we could have all boys or all girls, or we could have a mixture. Either way, we give life to create that picture. And because that's the truth, that we give life to create that picture, how is it that the alphabet, the LGBT, look, I just got to say alphabet. That's not to offend nobody. Please don't be offended. It's letters from the alphabet. So I got to say it like that. Because then if I got to say every little letter, y'all know what I mean, right? Okay, the alphabet community. or the rainbow. You want to say rainbow? Oh, we the rainbow. We uncommon all colors. Hey, girl. Okay, that part. So they did things to make us, confuse your mind. That's just what you should celebrate because you coming out. Now, they used to get hurt. For the men, used to be brutally harmed by other men. When back in, I think it always been around, but it used to be under the, under wraps, behind closed doors. Why? Because it wasn't accepted. Because they knew they was going against God. They had to know to hide it. Why wouldn't it be natural? Something that's natural. You open, you wide, you go outside. It's sunlight. You ain't trying to hide nothing. Why? Because if you believe you're doing the right thing, you don't hide. Man and woman pushing the stroller, pushing their kid, living together, that's normal. Somebody eating apple from the ground or from the trees, that's normal. Paying for it, that's not normal. Why are we paying for things that God made to be free? He told us to till the earth. That is what the men's supposed to do. Okay. So women give life to both. That is just what we do. We are equipped to raise a man, a male child, into a man. Yes, we can, because other than that, why? I'm not saying that that we don't need a father. I'm not saying that the man is not needed. What I'm saying is, if the man is not, it's not the other way around, because it's not a balance. Everything that the Lord made it specifically for a purpose. And anything that was made, it's going to get carried out. He's going to make sure everything is in place to bring whatever vision that the Lord see. It got to be protected already. So it has to come forth. Now, I say that to say this. Women, we give life to both. So we can raise a man, a male child, into a man. If you have a strong mother, a strong vessel. I'm not talking about lame mothers and lame fathers. I'm not talking about absent-minded make believe they look good but their kids don't, or they make believe they make their kids look good but their minds is not right. They know about every kind of song, everything that is not inspiring or uplifting of them. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm not talking about abusive parents. I'm not talking about parents that raise their kids and getting over on people or sleeping around or getting money to use people or see how much you can take before somebody takes something from you. I'm not talking about hanging with the wrong people and putting your kids in danger and let strangers touch all over them or pass them around, or putting your kid on the doorstep in a basket, taking it to church and ringing the bell and running away. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm not talking about the disasters. What I'm saying is, I'm talking about the mothers that is strong enough with integrity, willpower, strength, with grace, understanding, that can raise that man, besides giving him manners and teaching him about those things, but could raise him to be a man, not just taking out the garbage and mopping the floors and saying, oh, this is what a man's supposed to do. No, a man's supposed to know how to love his mother, where he came from, take care of things, nurture. Before that little boy could be able to do those things, they need to be poured into. They need to be filled with love, graciousness, consciousness, nothing that can disturb them to take them off that mission of that bond between that mother and child. Now, the father's role is just as important. They're not left out. What I'm saying is the woman is able to house both. That's why that makes that God. Because what do a woman do? Breathe life. What do this world do? Breathe life. What happens in the ground when you plant a seed? It breathes life. Who tills the ground? The men is to do the laboring, to work, to watch out for whatever it is that the mother of nature had already doctrine, and we're going to nurture it with our compassion. The men is to give it structure. They give it a balance. They keep it together because they're preserving what the woman already nurtured and already already brought forth and brought forward. It takes a man to understand both sides and understand their role. A lot of people can't do it. It sounds great and saying, well, oh, you make it sound so good. Are you doing any of those things? Yes, I learned to pour back in myself. I learned to use my mind because my mind is my business, and I learned how to think. Use things that's inspiring. This word going to tell you you're not who you're supposed to be. Let me control you. You got to follow the rules. We got rules and discipline. Okay, if those rules don't apply to me, the Lord said to people, to us, that those laws that they have today do not apply to those that is not under the law. If you know your life don't have nothing to do with getting locked up, it don't got nothing to do with you being abusive, where you could get called to get locked up. If you're not doing nothing to have a restraining order on you, where you have to be backed up. If you're not lined up in any of those things, you're not a criminal, no type of way. You're not doing something illegal. Now, getting on the bus, not paying your fare, or going on the train and somebody let you in the gate and they open the door for you, that's not a crime. That is a crime to the system because they're saying, oh, you're not following. We are telling you you got to pay to go your own way. I don't care if it's $4, $2.75, or $3.75. Either way, they want us to pay for every goddamn thing, and they made us slaves to do it. So if you're paying everything, then you wonder why you don't have enough to do what you want to do. We don't have really nothing to save. But they want you to come to their games. They want you to go to their parades. Promote things that have nothing to do with the Most High. Naturally, who we was made to be. So if you're watching these things, what I'm saying is, while you're watching the parades or going to the games, listen, I'm not telling nobody what to do. What I am telling you to do, open your mind. It's time to open. You need the renewing of your mind so you can see how the system be playing us, and we don't really be thinking about it like that because we just thinking about, oh, it's something to do. Oh, I get to go out the house. I'm gonna take the kids out. We gonna get some hot dogs and popcorn and beer and all that. We going out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Give me a box of Cracker Jacks. I don't care if you ever come back. I don't know the whole song. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but I do know take me out to the old ball game. Now, after you finish going to the ball game, guess what? Not near none of them. For the majority of people that go to the concerts or to any of these shows or whatever it is that we like to look at these artists, they don't know none of you. And they won't know how much you care about them. They can't. It's impossible because they on a different platform to where they would never be able to get to know any of you. But if you come to the town, do you need to know everybody personally? No. What you could do is if you come into people town, hometown, you should be able, with all the millions, the whole team, and all this money they get, you should think about in this neighborhood, let me see if I can do something for this people at this place. If I can, if it's something that I can make or something that I can help them to build, they parks, they schools the way they want. What can I give back to the fans that watch and support and get their hats? And sometimes in this life you get to meet some of them. Like some people met Michael in their lifetime, got to touch him, got to meet him. I never did, but it's okay. I never really cared about going to concerts and really going to meet anybody that was famous. But I did dream about some. But it's nobody I was particularly, I wouldn't mind to meet him if I happen to meet him. Like I used to go to the pier. My mom used to take us to the pier. I met Phyllis Hyman when she was alive. Um, and damn, I can't think her name, from a different world. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The dark skin one that went with Sinbad. Shalisa, I think that was her name. Whatever it is, y'all know who I'm talking about. So I'm out. So I'm just saying, if I happen to meet these people and you happen to go somewhere, but I'm not down on nobody or telling us. I'm saying the things in this world that we get excited for, and we get so excited for these things in this lifetime that we forget who we are. And and why we hear about these things, and what did it add after you leave? What joy did it bring? So I say it brings joy. Well, I'm gonna say the joy will come from you got to see your artist, you got to go out, and you got to shake off some steam. What I'm saying, why I say that to say this: the things that we care about or that we put in time for, it doesn't give us nothing back. After you realize what are you doing, and you cheering for something, and you after you leave, you're still in the same boat. You're smiling, but you're still in the same state of mind. Your spirit is still the same. Your conscience and your mind is still closed, and you're still going to do the same thing. You're still going to end up the same way. You could get their hats, their scarves, they whatever it is that they got. After you get it, my thing to my people is after you get all the accolades and everything that you can get and you done did it. And then when Most High said, when he come, we're not going to be recognized as serving him to say that we're believers because the things that we put our time to didn't give us nothing back. It didn't make us believers of ourselves. It didn't make us conscious to say, you know what, I can do something different with myself. Let me put something or inspire or uplift someone. They told us how to work outwardly. From grade school, they was pruning us and grooming us to work for a system that was going to go against us. It's not going to tell you nothing about how to deal with relationships, how to finance your money, how to invest. It's not going to tell you how to leave a legacy. It's not going to tell you nothing to pass down. It's not going to make you sure of yourself. It don't want you to be that because it wanted you to be a control puppet clown. And some of our people is happy to be that. They think I work and you gotta go and do it that way because how else you gonna get it? Well, when you got self-worth and you learn that everything that you wasn't made you who you are because you learned that through those obstacles. I'm not that. That's something I went through. Let me keep going. That's the way I know how to live is to keep going. I don't know another way. And I live by faith. So that's the only way I know how to live. Do something and believe that whatever it is, it took some time because I had to change the you have to change the mindset of how you think and how you talk. So if you want something to work, don't say it's not going to work because you don't have it. Oh, I'm not even in a position yet. It ain't going to happen. That's why it's not going to happen. You have to have self love and self motivation for yourself because you're the only one that can make it work. It would have to fall on you. Even if other people don't believe in you and they chose to doubt you, let them doubt you. So what? I'm better than whatever you thought I was. I made myself to be better. And they think you better than me. Sometimes, as much as we don't like to say that, and I'm not saying I'm better than say yes. Yes. Listen, learn to say yes. Because why? You didn't tell them that you was better than them. They said it. You think you, yes, then. Because why would you think that I'm better than you if I don't treat you like that? If you know you don't treat people beneath you and they feel that way, then it's an honor to you. I don't know. I'm not going to let nothing negative in somebody else's mind make me feel bad because they feel bad about they don't feel as great about themselves as you feel about yourself. And I remember when I didn't feel great about myself and I felt the same way. I was looking, but I didn't think about looking at it in a way to be bitter or jealous. I just was thinking about it when I was like 15, 16, and I heard other women come from nothing and they got their strength and they found their footing. And I was like, wow, I didn't feel nowhere near that. I didn't have that confidence that they had. But I looked and I listened. I said, I would want that. What that can that happen to a person like me? Would that ever happen to me? I think that's a lot of our questions, men or women. You see a strong, positive brother that's sure. The sure people did not become sure because we just got that way. You went through something. Something had to happen. It was pressure that had to make you. It's like a diamond. Yeah, a diamond don't just be a diamond. It's all dirty and it's not nothing shiny came out the earth. And if you ever picked it up, it's not nothing. But you know it's something. But if you cleaned it up and pushed some pressure and made it into its authentic, natural core self, you'll see the beauty of it. That's the same thing with ourselves. Now, after you get some pressure and you went through some things in life and your mind kind of then you was all over the place making your rules as you go, you was slipping it up. And then you would have to make some mistakes and some things. Look, what I do know is that I never did nothing to cause harm or to wish harm on someone or to be jealous of. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't take change or like if I went to the store, I kept the change if I was going to the store. Or if I had to go to the bank, take a little extra money out, put a little. But I used to tell because I had to tell on myself because that's what I did. So, what I'm saying is, I was still conscious. You have to be a conscious person to know something and something. Now, some things I wasn't. I tried to do some things, and the Lord disciplined me right away. If you ever a person that you can experience, and I know somebody's out there that's like me that tried some things about themselves to see if they can be on, I guess, see the dark side. Let me see how dark my dark can go. Let me see if I can hurt someone that didn't hurt me. Let me see if I can rob someone that shouldn't be robbed. Or let me see what part I tried. Listen, I can't. So I realized, what I'm saying is when you forced to be to be corrected by your own self and by your own actions, get corrected right away, and it's not from you because you ain't trying to correct yourself. You're trying to see what evil you can do or badness, right? Once you try that and it's not won't work for you, and it's a absolutely no, nobody got hurt, but it's just like thank goodness you couldn't go through with it because that's not for you. No, you can't. I'm just saying that's how the Lord would discipline us right away to let you know you are not to be like everything and everybody. You cannot have the experience of everything. You can't, because these are the things I'm gonna make you talk about because you're gonna have to talk about it. And you don't even know. What you know is that you know what you can't do. So when your life is keep leading you, when you constantly being corrected by a power that's greater than you, I can't have. Listen, you know how I knew I couldn't have certain friends. I like them. I can't have the alphabet, any one of them, to be a friend of me. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. Why? Because most of us say, well, people's people, that's their preference or whatever the case is, that don't stop a person from being a good being, or I just, I, I couldn't. And I didn't understand why not at the time. But I noticed a few times, different people that was, I couldn't. So if it came close to home with my children, somebody said, well, what if your kids was like that? What would you do? I wouldn't. I can't because it goes against the Most High's principle. It's not about what I feel like. Oh, yeah, if you love your child, you should accept them. If the Most High, anything that goes against the Most High order, it's not a feeling. It's not about what we feel or think. It's not about who it is. If the order of the naturalness is off, and the Lord said, do not accept anything that is not of me in my correctness. It doesn't matter who it is. It's not accepted. You would have to be someone in your spirit to understand that. Right? Well, then don't throw your kid away. You talk to them and let them know those are spiritual curses that have been passed down in generation because that's our birthright being taken away. We're not standing in the way that we was born to be. So if anything is taken away in that order, then we would have to say that this is not lining up for me. any case, he dismissed them, make me delete their number, I lose it, or something happened. We can't hook up. So I noticed that, and I said, okay, I see the pattern. I said, okay, I'm not allowed to. I can't. Both ways, a lesbian or any one of these people that do that, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not bitter or like I can't. I don't like. I'm not. It's not that. It's something that the Lord is not going to let me do. It's just not a part of me. It's not something that I can do. And so that don't mean I mistreat them. I'm not going to talk about them bad. They just can't be part of me. And sometimes, like certain foods, you like, and then you realize your body can't eat it no more. It's going to reject it. You say, "Well, I used to eat this all the time. I like it." I made eggs. I made me a egg and cheese sandwich with some onions, and I had hot chocolate. It was one of the days when my kids was going to school in the school days. They out of school now. They all grown up. The point is, it tastes good. It was great. I liked it. It was pleasing to the way I made it. My body said, hell no. And it didn't have nothing to do with the ingredients. It said, well, maybe because you had hot chocolate. That don't go together with eggs and cheese, and you had butter and all that on toast. It wasn't that. Even without that, on another time, I can't. So I said, damn, I can't eat eggs. I like the avocado. I couldn't eat that. Oh no, shrimp and crabs was my favorite thing until I had my daughter. So certain things that the body's going to reject that you would like. That is your spiritual self aligning with something that may not be conducive to your chakra. Now, if y'all don't know about chakras, that is how your root chakra is red. Your solar plexus is yellow. And I wrote it down so I can make sure I'm saying what I'm saying to you. So I try to, whatever I'm saying, you gotta back it up. You know what I mean? Okay, so no, it's not yellow. It's red orange. All right, so the root chakra is red. So if we feel depressed and we don't feel too good about ourselves and we feeling down or we got stomach issues with constipation, any type of thing or anything that's dealing with the stomach, the intestines and things like that, that can affect the way how we feel about our frequency. Those are low vibrations. So we can know what is a low frequency about ourselves. It's when we're not in a good state of mind. We're not thinking positive. We don't feel healthy minded. We're not in a happy space. We're not in a secure space. The enemy can insert himself just off of that alone. Because once you don't feel good about yourself, it can make you feel worse about yourself or make you look outside yourself. Now, let's say you look outside yourself, you're looking at somebody else's life, you see how it's going. So this person's life looks great. I wish I had that life. I wanted that car. I wish I had that man. I wish I had wish. And now some people that's wishing to take something because they don't feel adequate enough in what they got and what was due to them. So what happens naturally is you miss who you are because it's going to make you go down low, which is going to affect the rest of your chakras. That means your heart chakra is blocked. The heart chakra is green. Green? I thought our hearts is red. We bleed blood. Our blood is red. Our heart aura, the aura of the color red is green. That means that this world knew about it and it changed to use the green dollar bill to replace our heart chakra, which is green. They understood that. So that means to change your love for something that got paper with a color on it until you got buy and pay for everything, because that's the only way you can live. Now, if we use our heart chakra, can you still live the same and still do what you need to do if you use your heart chakra instead of the dollar way? Okay, now, do you still need the dollar bill? Yes. Why? Because that's just what it is for now, right? You don't have to bend for everything that it made us to do, the way it told us to do. You don't have to do it that way. Why? Because if that don't work for you, then you can do something else. If you can still get the same benefit and the same outcome by going about it a different way, why would it be wrong? It's not, especially if you didn't cross nobody. You ain't had to hurt nobody to get where you going. Your hands is clean. Your spirit is right. You did it the honest way. Guess who's watching? The Most High and your angel guys. They're watching to see who's working down here doing it the right way. Why? Because you should think about your family line. Do you have principles? Do you have standards? It's the same thing of going to somebody else's village or a custom. You're going to be respectful if you go to somebody else's home, right? If they say, well, we take our shoes off at the door. When you go to somebody's home and that's what they do, you're going to respect it. You're going to take your shoes off. Why? Because you want to be welcome. So you want to follow along, right? Okay, that's the same thing. Whatever the Most High said to do, that is what it is. Otherwise, those things can work against you. So when you find yourself being more secure in yourself, then these lower vibrations and frequencies that you have and all these type of problems and ailments and all these things, this is where it comes from. Low thinking and low vibrations of people, places. So if our people, you're at your job, in your family, and they can't say nothing to inspire you because their minds is on church and every religion in the world, instead of putting themselves first, they said, well, no, I can't compare myself to God because that nobody's is equal to God. So what are you? Because if the Lord look at you and you say that and your mind believe that and not understanding what you're saying, I can't compare myself to the Most High because I'm not that. Then you ain't. So then you can't be compared because the Most High is a godlike conscience that give you an ability to think and act on your own. If you want something and you say, "Well, I'm gonna do something," now if you do it, do you believe that you could do it, or you just thinking, or do you know? After you get past the belief, everybody needs a belief system. So when you get to the part where you believe, what should you believe? If you don't know what God look like, and people say, so what is God, and how do God talk, and what do that look like? If you see yourself and you don't have anything else to go by, why wouldn't you not use yourself? Now, what I'm saying is, as an example, an attribute to carry out the Most High's will. That means to be everything that you say that you believe the Lord is. You should be that good thing. If whatever good is good to you, then be that. Let that work out for you. Now, everybody that say God, well, I just need somebody in my life that talks about God and they pray. Let me tell you, everybody that pray, it's not the same God you may know. They got another one, and that God works for this world down here, looking to seek whom and who it can devour. It don't care if you they mom, it don't care if you a sister, a friend, cousin, mother, or brother. They don't give a damn. That spirit takes over when they lock in and they own that spirit to the world. And they say that's my God. That God comes with money, and that's greed. And it would make you do all kinds of things to go against your own self. Even your own family will team up with you to go against another one. These are the things that this Most High, that people say, well, not Most High, but what this God conscious would do. The God of this world is only worldly. It's for things so people can like you. If it wasn't for God's spirit to tell me to speak, otherwise I went and I was advised. Then why don't you go share your story? You know, you can tell your story. I'm not a tarot reader and none of those things. I'm able to see in a different way. So I just use what I naturally have. And two, I'm able to get trained or God direct me that way. Then it shall be. But if it's something, some people say, well, why don't you just do it? And you never know. I don't do anything unless the Lord guide me that way and I'm guided to. If I'm not, it doesn't matter how many people's opinion is to me. It's only one I work for, and there's only one voice I will listen to. And then those voices that I listen to, you're going to send somebody just that look like me, and they're going to talk like him. And all of us got the universal God's voice, right? And we all talk alike. That doesn't mean I'm going to get encouraged because it's going to say what I'm supposed to be moving to. Until I get to where I can have help to get, because sometimes you may have a craft, you may have a skill that you're very good at, and you need help to help somebody is aware they understand where you're going and what you need to do. They did too, but they able to help you on your journey to make it work for you. I haven't experienced that yet. So what I'm saying is, I mean, I'm watch, but to have somebody one on one say, okay, but I know my time is coming. All I just have to do is stay in line, follow along, look at your life, follow the things that you learn to make right, all the hardships, ups and downs, and things like that. I'm a miracle. I shouldn't even be here, but I am, so I can say it. Look at my face. I'm smiling. It's a miracle. It's like, how is she still here? That is crazy. That is crazy. How is that? Well, that's when you know the most high. For what can you do with a power that says, if I got you, who else can get rid of you? Who can be if I'm the sustainer of you? Who won't mess with you? I'm like, you be like, you see how, look, some people think that you could be by yourself, your loved ones. Be good to them. Be good and kind to the people that's here. This world going to tell you different things. They even took God and they said, no, we're going to take prayer out. What did they do? They put Obama and Michelle to the first gay president that we didn't even know. And like, you talking about them? You should be. That's our people. I didn't think like that till I realized it was true. They knew we was going to have a field day and they was going to laugh at us because we won't all feel as a melanated being that we finally got one of our people in the White House, and we're going to have a black one, we're going to have a straight one, and they're going to bring us out. Is that what happened? No, you got Obamacare, and you got a gay. They just played with us, and they look excellent doing it. They know what that is? A trans. Why? After Grace Jones, bless her heart and her soul, because she crossed over. After she said she was asked, what do you think about the Obamas running for president? You know, first president, whatever. She was like, oh, everybody knows she's a trans. Oh, those are the first trans. That everybody knows that. Why would she not be alive after that? She was going for surgery for something else, and they did something to her throat, whatever it is. She's not here because she spoke too early. But it's not a secret that she had. These people are diabolical, is what I'm trying to tell you. So behind the scenes, they have them, and let me tell you, ladies, that they have these men that go after those type of women that look like women, but they got a dingaling. And the men that got women and children, they got husbands, they got wives, they got children, they got all kinds of things going on, but they lovers of men and they hate women, but they like to be around us because it makes them look good as a man. And the women, that's why they made the alphabet community, because those ones makes the laws, and they got all kinds of privileges, and they got him, shem, don't call him he or she. What you mean? I'm gonna call you what God said that it was natural and normal. When you came out, you either a boy or a girl. And if you got two sex, by accident, I can't say by accident, but whatever it is, one of them need to go, something happened. I don't know how that go. If you happen to have both, then you are what you are, a Baphomet. I don't know, because that's what it is, especially if you come out with titties. I mean, if you're a little girl and and you grow up, right? Because they said, well, we don't know what sex is one, what spirit or whatever it is. It's rare, but it does happen. That's up to the parents to figure out if they should let the child figure out which one is going to be the dominant one by their body parts. I will look at how does the body develop. Now, if it don't develop no breasts and it's just flat chested and it's meant to be a boy, then you know, I don't know. But if it comes out the other way, where to pursue, you know, you later on get your period, or it's kind of weird. It's a weird thing to think about, but if that happens, I don't know. That's a very hard spot to be in as a parent for their child. to grow up that way, and a lot of them is just leave them that way, and they end up in getting into being a porn star or whatever, having the best of both worlds or whatever the case is. But for the ones that is not naturally born that way, is what I'm saying. These are generational curses that passes on. It's a thought mind wave, it's a spirit, it's an energy that flows that makes. There's no baby that is born that when they start talking 2 or 3 years old, I'm gay, or I want to be with a boy, or I want to be with another girl, and there's a little. It's just never. It is never going to happen that way. Something is taught. Something is in as they get older. Something that like, I always felt like I was like Johnny, and I'm even though I'm Anthony. I mean Mary or what I don't know, whatever it is. A little boy that always felt like a little girl. And I always felt like Brenda. I always wore my mama's shoes. Okay, that's confused. That's not natural. That's not a normal thing that the Most High will make his people to multiply and be confused to each other. It's just not, right? And how you know so much? Because it's just common. I mean, it ain't common, it's just sense. The, the Most High don't go against himself. All believers, like all God conscious, when we raise our conscience, our frequency, we don't have to like all the same things, but we understand one thing that the Lord that we serve is universal, and it's something that we can't get from this world down here, and this God can't give it to us. So if you took our mother, you took a lot of things, you could take our money, you could take my job, you could try to get me to get put out, whatever it is, and I'm still here, that means that the Lord sustained me to bring me out. If you don't feel that way, then you got to know that something is made, something happens for something else to happen. Nothing happens by accident. If you cried, if you hurt, and I did, we all did. And if you cried in tears, if you ever made a chosen one cry for no reason, if you ever hurt those one's feelings, and something that God said, I made this one for me, I made her for the world, I made her to set people's souls free, to uplift their spirit spiritually. Because you can't see, but you got to feel me. How do you know that I exist? Because I will make miracles for you where you have to give the credit to me. That is the God. That's the Most High. That is she that I serve. That's the God of light. That's the one of love. That's the one that gives fruit to the nation, to nature, everything. It's that. And then the man is there to hold that woman up and to nurture and to cultivate whatever that she brought forth. The Lord doesn't put us in the situation where he will bring us here. Let me just say it like this. Like we can't be born here and we need to go get shots. Oh, you gotta get shots like the dog say. And why do we have to get shots? I'm talking about human beings. Why do we need shots when the Lord sustained and made everything that he made to be able to sustain and live in its natural habitat just the way they was made? If the birds and the animals in the water, why do they need shots? They already equipped it for everything but they not like us. Okay, well, why would we? Well, because they got germs and people got colds, and we got all kinds of diseases, so we got to be protected from what? Listen, you ain't got to be protected from nothing if you ain't putting yourself in something to be protected from. If God already made the air we breathe and everything, the land, and made all the food that comes out the grounds we can buy from why do we need something to say, well, I'm making you safe because I went to school for it, and these are the things that's going to. Now, when you go into another country, they're going to tell you need shots, but you in your own home. Why do you need protection to live in your own? Think about it. When I think about that, I'm like, man, these people is crazy. They be tricking us like crazy. You done tricked us with the Obamas, the same sex, and all kinds of every kind of thing. It doesn't make sense. It's taking us further and further away from the truth. And how do you know what the truth is? You better measure yourself. I measure myself, my standard to the Most High, to know the difference. How do you know if somebody is good spirited? If they argue with me, if you have a problem with someone that is loving. And God said, and this one is going to nurture you. She's going to inspire you. She's not going to tell you nothing to hurt you. And you giving a problem with me. You got an issue because I love you. I showed up for you. If I was at your party, you invited me somewhere and I showed up. If I did anything for you, it was a privilege. It was an honor to be close to me. It doesn't matter. You ain't famous. Who you think you is? I'm everything because you thought I was. To be jealous of me, to be jealous of anything or anybody, and we all, that's a disrespect to the Most High. Why? Because he said, what did I give you that you thought that you should overlook what I made in you? Because I want the world to see something different in you, to show what I made. Everybody's supposed to showcase their originality. We're not supposed to be in a box singing the same type of song, working the same type of way, thinking the same type of way, because I found is one thing in this life that nobody's thinking about. Is it anything that we can have that don't consist of money, but is worth everything? Your integrity, your love, your spirit, your conscience, the way you breathe, the way how you see the world, how you see people, the way you care about things, the way you see through the Most High eyes. If you ever asked, and the Lord said yes, you asked to marvel after me. Why wouldn't you want to follow that one? God said, do they know how to follow if I'm speaking? If you heard my voice, would you even know it? If you heard my words, do you line it up to see what the word got to say? People worry about their opinions and their feelings. Oh, my feelings hurt. Somebody hurt my feelings. If your feelings got hurt, it was meant to be hurt anyway. It doesn't matter. My feelings got hurt. What happened? Nothing. I just got tougher about it. I said, okay. When I looked at it, I said, well, who hurt your feelings? And why? He said, well, this is my loved one. My mom yelled at me, or someone said something and it hurt my feelings. It made me feel bad. It made me cry. Once I understood who and what it is in these people, who the assignment is, our family is our assignment. And the government knows. Why they know? Because they know when we born. They know when we coming in. They know what time. They know the date. They stick you in your foot. They got your footprints. And when you get a certain age, they get your fingerprints. They know when you come in. They know who to send. They already got your birth chart. They're already looking at the will to see who else is going to be in line and be doing something else. They got us covered no matter what state we from or where we at. They looking for who is God going to send to be the next number one. All chosen ones, they don't like none of us. So if they attack one, that means it's personal, that you coming after God's one. And that was always the mission. That's why they wanted to get rid of the firstborn. Go back and look at some things. When you tell me about the Bible, it didn't even make sense from the beginning. I know I may be talking about a lot of different things, but just follow along because everything makes sense. In the beginning, we're not going to talk about how he made the lights in the heaven and night and day and all that. I'm going to get to the part where it's Adam and Eve, Abel and Cain. Abel was a pleaser of the Most High, just like me, right? Don't mean to be perfect, but you're perfect in your spirit. And God said, yes, I approve this message. So that's what it is. So he's like a person like myself and many of us. If we can identify that we're lovers of God, then we are Abels, okay? So everybody's an Abel. If I say Abel and we know that we talking the same, then I'm speaking for us. And even if I say me, that goes for all of us that believe the same, right? So we got a lot of Abels. And then it's Cain's that is jealous of favor. See, there's a difference. It wasn't about no goddamn blessing. That's favor. When you get favor, people could get upset about it. They could be mad about it. How do you get mad? You got to think about what this person had to do. What is this person that the Most High have favor with? Why does the Lord favor you? What is it about you? It can't be something you have like everybody else. Oh, she didn't finish school. No, I didn't. Guess what? He still said I'm his best. And what else you didn't do? You didn't work like everybody else. You didn't have credit cards. You didn't do a lot of things that everybody else do. That further should let you know. That's why the Most High would use me as an example. Next, further along, It's why I wasn't able to do everything everybody else was able to do. It was a no for me. No, you can't have these people as your friends. No, you can't do this. You can do certain things. You can smoke cigarettes. You can drink beer and all that. I stopped doing that. Now, as far as attachments to worldly people, places, or things, something that can tempt you to get you in your hormones, to get you in your mind, somebody to do something to crush it, to deceive you. I had it all. These people that did the wrong things, family members sleeping with other family members, people that I've been with, your exes, your kids' fault, whatever it is. Trust this lady went through it. Now you see my face? Like, what did you go through? Let me look at you real carefully and up close. Get a good look. Look, pain made my body work. You know what I realized? You think about your competition and wherever it is, and you realize, like, if these are people that's supposed to hurt me, let me think about it. Let me see. Then they confused about life, or not even confused. They just not. We on different timelines. Let me just say it like that. When you're on different time, the timelines mean that certain things that happen to you in your life that you experienced, it's what's making you to be for your purpose and why you endure something. So if you had a lot and you had many hats to put on, you had many roles to play. If you had to be that, and if you didn't have a father and you did have one, but you end up being single and you was raised by a single mother or you was raised by a single father, either way, if you saw something that man or your mother or your father had, and it gave you strength, you saw grace and you saw a principle. I saw all those things, whether it was with my mom, which I did, and I just came from a strong line of women with authority, and they stood for something. It made me think about my family line when our people wasn't always slaves. My family, we royalty, we came riding bareback on horses with rifles and arrows and shit. I come from that. You understand what I'm saying? They said, well, Aries, my star planet is Mars. My ruling planet is Mars. What is Mars? War. It is a war planet. My spirit is that, but it's calm. It seeks for peace, but it's war. If you come against me in the Most High, peace where we dwell. That's a different type of energy. That's a different person. That's a different version of me. Nobody ain't see yet, not even me. So I ain't seen me in a long time. So I don't know. I'm optimistic just like you. What I'm saying is when you true to yourself, the Lord is going to correct you. And it's going to be that. And that's what you will follow. Because a lot of things going to tell you that they mad about who you changing to be. Do you stop being who you are if that's the best part of you? And it made you wiser, made you see things more clearer. You can hear things that is not said. You can feel things that's not there. You can feel things that's happening to you. You can see things and you can put pictures and faces. You can ask the Lord, show me. I can say that. Who? With the Lord not favor, when he said, my children, if you're mine, and whatever you ask, and you asking of me and you deserve it, whatever you ask, I will give it to you because I know you're not going to ask in a miss. You're going to ask for something that is meaningful, that has something to do with me. So if you ask, I will give it to you gladly. Now, people, if you're mad about that, think about it. That's favor. That's favor and that's flavor. And everybody ain't got it. And I say, well, you gloating about it? But like, nah, just for the haters that try to make me feel some type of way about it. If the Lord bless you, then you should be a blessing to be uplifting and kind. It's not to gloat. Even if you did, it's what you do with the blessings that you give. All of us have them. That's how we use them. Now, you got people that can manipulate. They know how to twist people or to manipulate things and bend things in their favor a certain way. They know how to do it. They know how to keep your mind going in a certain way. They got taught how to be cunning. Some people ain't got to get taught to do that. They just naturally good at it. So they use it as a weapon. Guess what that weapon would do? Take you darker. Because that means that you like to be deceitful. I like deceiving people. I like to be on the side and be a crust, and almost as long as I don't get caught. But I kind of like the risk of getting caught. And if they ever knew what I was doing, how I really felt about them, let me tell you what I'm saying to you. That's what happened to me, and it was the best thing because it made me love myself and everything I am, and to say I love this queen. When you fall in love, if you could fall in love with yourself after everything you've been through, witchcraft, voodoo, or whatever it is that tried to take you out of here since my birth, you're a force to be reckoned with. It doesn't matter if somebody want to think about it. I can't believe she even acknowledge. Yes, yes, you should, and you can, and I will acknowledge myself. That is something that is privy for the world to want to know, whether they don't want to know. It is a power that beyond the force of spell work, that you got spellers, that casts, that speaketh. You ain't got to do nothing. You could just speak ill. You could just wish and want something to go wrong for someone. As such as myself, these people want nothing to work out for me. They don't want nobody to notice me. They don't want the world to see her. They don't want you to speak. Why don't you just be quiet? Nobody's going to follow you. It doesn't matter. You can't stop nothing with the Most High God. And I'm not going to stop until the Lord tell me you can stop. Until then, what I'm saying is, my people, you got to go deep within. You got to know who you are, because the other people want to tell you who you ain't. And as long as you know what you represent, I represent the goodness. So anything that has a problem that's going against me, got some questions scratching your head. I don't know what make you like this, and who you think you is. You're a one-man army. Okay. That's why looks could be deceiving, but whatever you wish to see, if you just see me and you only see, well, we could take advantage of her. She's by herself. She got only 2 kids. They can't do nothing to her. They can't help her. They can't do this. They can't do that. But I got a power that reaches greater than you and that knows everything and everybody. And anything is in place. And if I needed to know anything, that's the one that does. That power knows everything and everybody and knows how to get you where you need to go. Am I lying? No, people. No, I know. Because if you go on a job or wherever you go and the Lord said, call on me, make me your priority. And you said, Lord, I'm going to this job, or I'm doing something, whatever it is. I'm doing something new. Lord, please give me the spirit. Walk inside me. Be with me. I don't know what else I to do. What if it doesn't work out? You're nervous and all these things. You said, get rid of the nerves. If something is for you, it will have your name. Let the Lord work for you. How that go? The spirit could go into anybody and soften their hearts, or give them a vision, or send somebody, or put something in a way where that path is clear. It is called, I'm certain. It's not an opinion. It's not something I think about. It's something I know. That is how it go. The Lord will go for you. If you don't know, you say, I only know one. So I'm telling you, my people, that is how I learned to live and to think if it's something I need to do. And then I realized I don't need to complain. I used to listen to a lot of complaints. I listened to a lot of things that's disturbing that a lot of us don't like, about why, why we got to do things a certain way. Why is this life so hard? So I listen, not to complain. I listen to the complaint. And I said, wow, all of us feel a certain way. If I ever get the chance, I just think about how we all feel and the things we got to go through. That's Satan, my people, because the Most High would not let us feel bad. It will only let us go through something so we can learn that we are better than whatever it is that we're going through, and who's doing it, what's behind it. Once you understand what's behind it, it doesn't no longer have an effect on you. You said, wow, these people is something. I haven't spoken in a while because the Lord said no. But anyway, here I am. So here I go. I'm about to close. So I'll be back next time. I just wanted to say to my people, open up. It's time to open up in your mind. The renewing of your soul is the renewing of your mind. Give yourselves a high five. Give yourself a hug. Show yourself all the gifts. Be your own gift and show yourself some love. So that's what I do to me. I lift myself. I love every part of me, even the broken one. If you was broke, fix it. Heal yourself. Be a healer. I am. So would the healer not be able to heal themselves? No, it's impossible. You will have to be a healer to heal yourself. What kind of heal are you? There's many different types. I'm the one that will heal your soul, your heart. I'll mend it. I'll speak life back into you. That's the way to heal. That way you won't need as much medicine. You won't need to tell. You could tell the medicine man, wherever your crack dealer is, which is the pharmaceutical people that is licensed to be drug dealers. Those ones, they can kill for free and get away with it. Right? It's hard to sue them too. It's all part of the industry. Anyway, once you find out what part that you don't belong in, what part you can play, you feel grateful and thankful to yourself that you chose to love yourself, even when everybody walked the other way. So to them, be good, be kind, be loving. Take your time, have fun, and bye for now. Love you.